Kamikaze family, is Godzilla Train 1090. So today with a brand new review. And today, we're going to be talking about some first timers. Some figures that I've been hearing a lot about. Some figures I've actually voted on my figure of the year. But figures I haven't had in my collection until this year. Today, we're going to be talking about the Hiya Toys, King Ghidorah, Monster Zero, as well as Godzilla, King of the Monsters, from both of these movies from Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Of course, this is burning Godzilla to go King Ghidorah because why not? So a little bit of backstory with this. I've always wanted to get some higher pieces. I just never knew which ones I wanted to get. I know how I am with articulated figures. I'm very, very picky when it comes to that. I don't just get every articulated figure that comes to what comes out. I have to be very selective because I know how much space I don't have in my collection for things other than X Plus and Dragon Ball Z. So I kind of was being really, really particular on what higher piece to get, and this was my first one. The Hiya King Ghidorah was my first Hiya piece. So I'll go and show the box off real quick and give a little bit of backstory. So the reason why I have this in my collection is because my girlfriend was my girlfriend was sweet enough to get this for me for Valentine's Day this year, and we saw it in the comic book store. I kind of went gaga over it, and then she's like, "You want to get it?" So I'm like, "Oh, are you sure?" I said, "Yeah, get it." So I'm really appreciative to her. So thank you, Serena, for this awesome gift. So as you see, this thing is big. This box is bigger than I am. And y'all know I'm not a small man. So you see how huge this box is. This nice, pretty picture of King Ghidorah. This awesome picture of King Ghidorah from the poster art. This right here kind of sold this whole thing to me. Of course, some different ways you can post King Ghidorah and everything. And of course, it has the King of the Monster look to it. I don't know why the Burning Godzilla doesn't. I don't know why. But of course, here's the back of it. Some more pictures of King Ghidorah, different ways to post them and everything. Different way to have his mouths and things of that nature. And of course, you see the wing stands that he has as well. He also has one in the front too that I'm definitely going to show y'all when I do get up close and personal with this figure. But for now, let's get this box out of the way because again, that box is gigantic. And let's go with Burning Godzilla's box. Burning Godzilla's box. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not as impressed with it. It's okay, it's alright, but I don't know, I'm just not that impressed with it. Does have the silhouette of Godzilla. There's a red box. Has a picture of Godzilla on the side. Two different poses for Godzilla on the side. So I don't mind it, but it's just to me. And of course, on the back, silhouette of Godzilla, and just some more pictures of Godzilla. So again, this box I'm not too impressed with. Not like the King Ghidorah box. King Ghidorah box looks amazing to me, but that box is just ain't it. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get up close and personal with both of these incredible figures. And we'll do that right now. Thank you. And first up, we talk about my very first Hiya figure that I've gotten. Monster Zero, aka King Ghidorah, King Ghidorah, however you want to pronounce this man's name, but here he is in all of his absolute glory. So again, I would like to first thank my girlfriend Serena for getting him for me. He is absolutely incredible, and I do love him. But that's besides the point. So let's actually get into the review. Of course, you see that this bad boy does have. Well, at least I have mine with different poses with the mouse to kind of show off the articulation with that. So I won't have to individually move each head. So as you see, I have one open, one kind of closed, looking at the sky, and the other one this mouth closed. As you see, all three heads are highly detailed. I'll be able to show you all of those in just a second. But first, we start off with the wings. The wings are absolutely huge and stunning. That's the one thing I really do love about this version of King Ghidorah is how huge he is and how towering and imposing this King Ghidorah is versus all the other King Ghidorahs we've gotten in Godzilla in general. Of course, we have the veins in his wings. Of course, all the horns at the tip of it. These wings look absolutely crazy. There's a lot of articulation with the wings. Also, I'm not gonna sit here and pull all these apart necessarily, but these wings do look pretty cool. Of course, the light yellowish on on the bottom of his neck and his body. Of course the golden hue, and I like that they didn't do just gold because this King Ghidorah doesn't really have just gold. So I like how they put some browns in the colors as well. To be able to see that a little bit more, looking at the back of this guy, you see again still more veins, still some goldish brown on here, and of course his spikes or dorsal plates, whatever you want to call them. Which I didn't double check the film because I don't remember the middle head having two rows of dorsal plates. That's actually kind of neat. I missed that little detail in the movie. So that's a good reason to go back and rewatch it. And of course, his tail also, and his of course, the tip of his tail is kind of reacts like a rattlesnake does. Thought that was a pretty neat touch that this version of King Ghidorah does have. And of course, there's some more closer details to the wings. As you see, there are going to be some gaps in the wings. The reason why is because of the articulation in the wings. So you can put this King Ghidorah in kind of a type of a crawling pose. It's really you just gotta pull it apart, put it back in to be able to see that feature. As you see here, I'm kind of messing with it right now to see if I can kind of get this jointed without knocking him over. And of course, there's some articulation in the neck, which is not much. This is the one grab I do have about this figure. I wish the articulation did have a little bit more. And the head, move the head. You can move the head a little bit. Again, the articulation in the mouth, which I know I said I wasn't going to show y'all that, but I mean, y'all can see it now. As I do try and have each King Ghidorah have a little bit different pose with each mouth. Of course, there's a little bit of articulation here at the knees too, especially since this thing can kind of go on a crawling pose, which right now, as he currently stands, he doesn't really fit on a crawling pose in my display. But once I am able to get him like that, I can't wait to take pictures of him in that crawling pose. That was something unique to that version of King Ghidorah that we didn't necessarily get. Besides Death Ghidorah, but Death Ghidorah was a quadrupod, so he had no choice but to crawl. But the fact that this King Ghidorah did walk on his wings, that was pretty awesome. And of course, you'll be able to see how big he really is once I do my size comparison with his companion, obviously. But this is a pretty big and beefy figure. I actually really do love the way this looks. This is gonna be my version of the 2019 King Ghidorah because I really do like the way the X Plus looks. But with the drooping wings, that kind of terrifies me, especially since I live down here in Texas. It's always hot down here for the most of the year. So having that version of King Ghidorah this isn't in the cards for me necessarily, but hopefully one day I might change my mind. But of course, now here is the Hiya Burning Godzilla. This is my first Godzilla from the Hiya collection, from Hiya Toys. And as you see here, of course, one gripe that we've always had about these Burning Godzillas is getting the colors right, as far as having the colors right on the body for this Godzilla. Now, I feel like they did a pretty good job getting pretty close to it. I would still say that there may be just a little bit too much yellow in it still. On the body, it looks fine, but on the dorsal plate, it's still super yellow. And I thought they were more of an oranges yellow to me in the film. So that's kind of why I have a little bit of issue with the color of it. But overall, it does look pretty good. Of course, Godzilla's tail, same thing. They didn't get lazy and stopped in a certain place. They actually did get it painted all the way across and all the way down. So I really do like that test that they made sure they take their time with that. This figure does have a whole lot of details, and for a sub-$100 figure, they did a great job. Of course, I've always been an advocate for NECA toys, but Hiya has knocked this out of the park as far as details go. And I can't wait to get some of the other Hiya releases that are coming out. At this time, I do have the 91 and the Godzilla Evolved on pre-order, so I can't really wait to see what they look like. And unlike SH Monster Arts, the articulation in the higher figures they're a little bit more forgiving. I feel like I can be a little bit hands-on with these figures versus messing around with my SH Monster Arts figures. As you see, the legs and arms have articulation. The hand does rotate as well. Not a whole lot, not a whole lot, but it rotates enough. This again, this terrified of breaking everything with articulated figures. And of course, the mouth does open and close. Same thing with the tongue. The tongue can also move as well. You have him this open mouth pose, or you can just have him closed mouth. This, however you're feeling that day, however you want to display this version of Godzilla. And of course, the thing that really matters to me is the articulation of the tail, because with my photography, I do like having Godzilla's tail sitting in a different position, however way I can. Because I do wish there was more articulation, but I mean, it could be a lot worse. But overall, I am really happy with this figure and this being my first Hiya figure because I really don't have. Well, I do have a Burning Godzilla in my collection, but we're not gonna talk about that. But I really do like this as my representation for the Burning Godzilla. This is a really cool figure, and I'm glad it's my first Godzilla from Hiya Toys. I really do enjoy this Hiya Godzilla. And here is a size comparison we've all been waiting for: the Burning Godzilla with King Ghidorah. And my God, is this not accurate, guys? Of course, I've seen in Godzilla King of Monsters when they're on Antarctica, you can see how big King Ghidorah is compared to Godzilla. And even right here, also, King Ghidorah is just towering over Godzilla. And I personally think this is looks pretty awesome together. Yeah, Godzilla's. Yeah, no, that I just have I haven't been this. Let's just appreciate this. Just appreciate the size comparison with these two because these two do look marvelous together. But of course, this isn't the last size comparison we have for this video. But this is definitely the most important because I mean, if you're gonna get the High King Ghidorah, you have to get a Godzilla to go with it. And whether it's this one or even the Atomic Breath version, which I may try and get the Atomic Breath version. Now I'm thinking about it only because that is gonna look really good with this King Ghidorah also. I do like the way the Burning Godzilla looks right before Godzilla murders King Ghidorah. I mean, even this shot here, this is a pretty cool shot. The first thing I'm starting to think about is Godzilla getting imposing Martha out of him to start chip to start chipping away at King Ghidorah. But again, I do have a second size comparison I wanted to do, kind of a surprise one, and it's gonna be of all of the SH, well, not all the SH Monster Arts, but the Gigan and 72 Godzilla SH Monster Arts. And the reason why I'm doing SH Monster Arts, because I know this is really what the big competition is between the articulated figures are. And you see how much bigger Hiya is. Even the Godzilla is a lot taller than the SH Monster Arts. Granted, Godzilla is supposed to be a lot bigger than Gigan, so they're from different lines and different areas, so this isn't completely size accurate. But I really wanted y'all to see how big King Ghidorah is with Gigan and with Godzilla. As you see, King Ghidorah even dwarfs all of them. Even granted, higher figures are a little bit bigger than SH Monster Arts, but you can really tell the difference between the size of these guys. Now, details and accuracy, they're both doing really well. And SH Monster has been doing well for a while now. We've just been disappointed with some of the things that they haven't given us. But as far as this comparison goes, this looks pretty dapper to me. If we're going to be 100% honest, because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I guess that's all I got. I guess I'll give y'all my closing thoughts on this guy, on both of these figures. Thank you. And we're back. And that's my view on Hiya, King Ghidorah, and Godzilla, Burning Godzilla from Hiya Toys. Now, of course, like I said, both of these are pretty cool. cool releases. Both of these figures are really impressive to me. I really do like both of them. Of course, what's now it begs the question: am I going to get any more Hiya figure toys? Right now, I do have one for pre-order. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I don't know if I keep the pre-order yet though, but it is one of my favorite versions of Godzilla, so I'll probably keep it. Only because I don't have this representation of Godzilla. No, not true. But it's the first. So the I don't know why I'm dancing around it. My next pre-order for a Hiya toy figure is Godzilla 1991. So I really do like how that thing looks. I do have the 89 SH Monster Arts version of it, so I am pretty curious on how it's gonna look with that. And I don't know, 91 is just one of my favorite versions of Heisei Godzilla. 89 is my second favorite design, but I really do love the 91 as well. 91 is probably fifth or sixth on my list for suits and everything. So I'm really excited to get that if I decide to get it. Again, I'm still trying to make decisions if I want to get it, or if I want to hold off for something else more in my alley. But you'll know if they announce it, you know what it is, and you know I'll be getting that instead. But until then, I am glad and grateful that these two are my first Hiya toy releases that I've gotten. I'm not gonna hop on the train and hop on the bug and try to get all the Hiya toys. That's not gonna happen, because again, I don't really have a lot of room in my collection for articulated figures. But with this being my favorite version of King Ghidorah, no, second favorite version of King Ghidorah, I apologize. It's my second favorite version of King Ghidorah. I had to get this because I know with the X Plus, those have some QC issues I don't really want to deal with. With this, I don't really have to worry about anything. I just gotta make sure he's protected in a sense. But, and then of course Burning Godzilla. I do have the X Plus 25cm Burning Godzilla. The colors on that doesn't hold a candlelight to this one, to be honest. So I'm definitely glad I did get another Burning Godzilla, so I can get rid of that other one for not having any representation of the Burning Godzilla from 2019 in my collection. But alright, that's all I got for y'all today, guys. Of course, if you haven't, please like and share and subscribe. And between these two figures in the comment section, let me know which figure do y'all think is better, and what's your favorite Hiya release from Hiya Toys so far. Alright, guys, that's all I got for y'all today. And I hope you have a fantastic night, Kaiju family.